Okay, so let's take a look at this example. Now, suppose we are asked to evaluate the integral of 6x squared minus 4x plus 5 dx. Okay, because this function is sum of three functions, so we will apply formula number 3 that which states that the integral of f sub 1 of x plus or minus f sub 2 of x plus and minus and so on and so forth up to plus or minus f sub n of x dx is equal to the sum or difference of the integral of each function, which is written as the integral of f sub 1 of x dx plus or minus the integral of f sub 2 of x dx plus or minus and so on and so forth up to plus or minus the integral of f sub n of x dx. Okay, so applying that formula, this can now be written as the integral of 6x squared dx minus the integral of 4x dx plus the integral of 5 dx. Or you can apply distributive property. No? The integral sign is distributive, no? Together with dx. You can distribute the integral sign together with dx to each of these terms. So we have the integral of 6x squared dx minus the integral of 4x dx plus the integral of 5 dx. So because the first integral is a product of constant and a function, so we can apply formula number 2, which states that the integral of the product of the constant and the function times dx is equal to c, no, times the integral of f of x dx, which means that you can factor out this constant 6 times the integral of x squared dx. So same for the second term, because there is a constant 4, you can factor this out by applying formula number 2 times the integral of x dx. You do the same for the last term. You can factor out 5, so you have times the integral of dx. Okay, but this function x squared is of the form x to the n, which is formula number 4. It says in this formula that the integral of x to the n dx is x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus the constant c, meaning the integral of x to the n power is can be obtained by adding the exponent of x by 1 to get n plus 1. So you have x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus the constant c, provided that the value of n is not equal to negative 1. And this formula is called the power formula. So applying the power formula, the integral of x squared dx can now be written as x raised to 2 plus 1, okay, divided by 2 plus 1. So this is your x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 minus 4 times the integral of x dx. Again, x raised to, this is of the form x raised to n dx, where n is 1. Okay. So applying the power formula, this can now be written as x raised to 1 plus 1 all over 1 plus 1. Okay, plus the integral of dx, and this is similar to formula number 1, which indicates that the integral of dx is x plus the constant c. So therefore, the integral of dx is x multiplied by 5. So you have 5x plus the added constant at the end of the term. Then, simplifying further, this can now be written, yung x raised to 2 plus 1 can be written as x raised to the third power divided by 2 plus 1 is 3. So you have x cubed over 3 minus, same for the second term, this can be written as x raised to 1 plus 1 is 2 all over 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, plus 5x plus the constant c, or this can be reduced to 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you have 2x cubed minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So you have 2x squared plus 5x plus the constant c. So this is the final answer. which means that the integral of 6x squared minus 4x plus 5 dx is 2x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5x plus the constancy. Okay, so let's take another example. Now, suppose you're given the integral of 4 square root of t plus 2 over the square root of t dt. Because the given integrand is sum of two functions, so we can apply formula number 3. Now, wherein the integral of the sum or difference of n functions can be written as the sum or difference of each of the integral of each function. Or you can apply the distributive property. You distribute the integral sign together with dt to each of this term. So thus, you can write this as the integral of 4 square root of t dt plus the integral of 2 over square root of t dt. But since the resulting integrand is a product of constant and a function, so you can apply formula number 2, that the integral of the product of the constant and the function is equal to the constant times the integral of the function. So you factor out the constant 4 and then get the integral of square root of t dt. Same for the second term. Now you can factor out the constant and then get the integral of dt over square root of t. And in algebra, recall that the radical sign of this form, square root of t, can be written in fractional exponent form. You can write this as t raised to 1/2 dt, no? Plus 2 times the integral of dt over, again, square root of t can be written as t raised to 1/2. Then, to integrate t raised to 1/2 dt, recall that this is of the form integral of x to the n dx. So, this is the power rule, wherein the integral is, this is equal to x raised to n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus the constancy. And then, applying this formula, now you can write this as 4 times, you have t raised to, you increase the exponent by 1, so 1/2 plus 1, divided by, so this is 1/2 plus 1, okay, plus 2 times the integral of dt over t raised to 1/2. Recall in algebra that you can rewrite this factor t raised to 1/2 in the numerator by changing the sign of the exponent from positive to negative 1/2. Thus, this can be written as the integral of t raised to negative 1/2 dt. Then, simplifying further, now recall also in algebra, because our exponent is in fractional exponent form, we have to simplify this first. And recall in algebra that to add two fraction, 1/2 and a whole number, because the denominator is 2, now you can rewrite 1 as 2 over 2, so that you can easily add, you can easily combine them, because these two are similar fractions. Recall that similar fractions, when added, we just combine the numerator. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and then just copy the common denominator. So therefore, this can be written now as 4 times t raised to, again, yung 1/2 plus 1 is 3 over 2, all over the denominator, which is also 3 over 2. Plus 2 times, again, this integrand of the form t raised to negative 1/2 is of this form. No? So, we can apply the power formula. So, therefore, the integral of t raised to negative 1/2 dt is t raised to negative 1/2 plus 1 all over negative 1/2 plus 1 plus the constancy. But again, yung negative 1/2 plus 1 when added can be written as negative 1/2 plus 1 can be written as 2 over 2. Thus, if we combine these two, this is equal to negative 1. You add the numerators. Negative 1 half plus 2 is 1. Then, copy the common denominator. So, therefore, you can rewrite this as 4 times for the first term because we are dividing 4 by 3 halves. We can change division to divide. Diba? We change division to multiplication, but we have to get the reciprocal of the denominator. So, you have 4 times 2 over 3 times t raised to 3 halves plus 2 times t raised to, recall that negative 1 half plus 1 is 1 half. So, you have 2 times t raised to 1 half over 1 half plus the constancy. Or, yung 4 times 2 is 8. So, you have 8 over 3 t raised to 3 halves plus 2 times the reciprocal of 1 half, which is 2 over 1. Okay, times t raised to 1 half plus the constancy. Or this can be written as 8 over 3 t raised to 3 halves plus 2 times 2 is 4 times t raised to 1 half plus the constancy. So, this is the final answer.